Welcome, future masters. We're now into section 4, intermediate, I guess is what we're going to call this. So, well, we can win this guy's queen with rook takes d6 check. This would be a decoy. Rook takes d6, king takes, rook d1 check, skewering his queen. And then he has to play something like, he's on d6. He can play king d6, king c7 or king c6. We take, and then queen takes rook. Well, actually, he's on c6. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, well, we'd take, rook checks, king to c6. Oh, we could play queen to e4 check if he goes to c7. Oh, man, that's a good question. He goes to c7, what are we doing? Good question, dude. I can take this queen. He takes my queen. I take his rook. We have one a pawn. But we're 3 pawns up. This does win all the way. So there you go. Now, like I said, we can play rook takes queen. He plays rook takes queen, and we play rook takes a8, that rook, and we're even on pieces, but we're 3 pawns ahead, and that is more than enough for me to win. I'm a crusher in the endgame, baby. So that was a decoy, or you could also call that a destruction sacrifice. Decoy sacrifice is better because the destruction is usually going to end up into checkmate. Uh-oh. I see 1, 2, 3. You know what that means. Knight checks on e7. You're going to learn this pattern, and it's killer. 1, knight, pawn block, 3, knight. 1, 2, 3. Side rank checkmate because rook takes his check, king takes rook, rook h1, queen to the h file, rook takes queen is checkmate. 1, 2, 3, side rank checkmate. But this is like level 2. Oh, you checked me. How cute. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, Charlie. So, what are we doing? Block to move. Well, the obvious move to my chess eye was king to e5, attacking the knight. However, my chess brain is better than my chess eye, and I say that, and yours is going to get better too. We can do what I call, have we done this? We haven't done this here. We have not done this on this one. This is called the concept of unstoppable checkmate. Where can we move this king to threaten checkmate? Hopefully you guys see this. He cannot check us at all. So basically he can move his rook to block us once. So he cannot stop. The checkmate is inevitable. That's all he can do. He could have taken the pawn, same difference. We're going to take the rook and then checkmate him. It was unstoppable checkmate is what I call that. And you never know when it's going to show up. That's why these problems are awesome, because I don't know what's happening here. And anybody can set this up and go, hey, look at this move. Aren't I special? Okay, which is cool. But the thing is, I'm a tournament player, and I play tournaments. I won tournaments against real chess masters. And you do that because you have actual skills, which I have, and you see me demonstrate those skills here because I don't know what's coming. Although this looks like an easy brute force checkmate. Queen f6 check, king h5, only move. g4 check, hang on a second. I thought that might be my friend calling me, but it wasn't. It was a bum call. Anyway, queen f6 check, king h5, g4 check, king h4 only move. Queen to h6 is checkmate. Pawn blocks the escape square. Queen guards the bishop. Brute force checkmate. That's 1. This is 2. 3. Brute force checkmate. Those moves are, to me, obvious and good. But hey, you have to play them. They don't play themselves. Oh, look. One of my specialties. Okay. This one is fairly basic in the context of, and most kicking pawn endgames are basic. But the whole point is you have to know, or you have to be able to figure out, sorry, not know, it's figure out what's the key element. The key element here, I'm telling you just by looking at it, is that it's what I call the shepherd square. This is a shepherd square problem. You're like, okay, what does that mean? Shepherd square. The shepherd square for your passed pawn. This is my passed pawn, which is a C pawn. Shepherd square is the square on either side on the 7th rank. So D2 for black on the C pawn, or B2 for the black C pawn. So what I want to do, I have to get out of the way. I go to the shepherd square. That means the king cannot stop me. If he goes here, I check him. If he goes here, I check him again. He can't stop me from queening. So what happens is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th move, I'm going to queen this pawn. If he wants to queen this guy, it takes 5 moves. Guess what? You won't make it. I'll queen, he'll go to here, and I'll eat this pawn. I'll just get behind it and eat it on the next move. So this takes 5. You got to know this. Your starting pawns take 5 moves to queen. Now, when I go to the shepherd square, if he wants to play h5, it doesn't really matter. What happens there. I don't have to take it, because if I take it, then he queens in 3. I don't want to take it. So I push. I queen with check. Remember, not only does it take me 4, but I queen with check. So really, I play 3 moves, and then I queen for free, because I get the tempo of the check. It's over. I don't need to take you. I can take you. I don't queen with check anymore. I go here to c2. He can take me, queen, and I'm going to eat this. It's bad news. So c2, h6, queen, h7. I kind of need to take it. Let's see. Take this. He goes to g6, c2, g7, queen. Nope. Don't take it. You just do the count. I do the count take and do the count no take, and no take had a better count for me. So queen, and you lose. That's a shepherd square. That's the dominant element. Once you mastered that idea, it was easy. Okay. Well, we could win a pawn with knight takes f6 check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could win a pawn by knight takes f6 check. Queen takes b7. Not bad. We're also getting it with a check threat, so it's pretty good. We probably have better. Me, I want to look at this unblockable diagonal right here on f7. So queen h5 check. Holy moly, that's a checkmate. Goodbye. Whoops, checkmate. Unblockable diagonal. We've already covered that before. So, I went through different ideas. Okay, well, now here. Oh, this is nasty, dude. Look at this. This is the sequence of ideas. Queen checks. He's going to go to c5. That's no good for me. He attacks my queen. Okay, I don't like that. Then I saw this. Hey, how about if I play rook takes bishop? Well, he's not pinned because he's defended. pawn takes rook. I go, yeah, but now I can play queen to b6 check. Actually, I don't want to play with this rook here. I need this rook to guard e3. Because if I take with the e-rook takes bishop, double question mark. Pawn takes, queen checks, queen e3. What separates the men from the boys is the ability to find the key defensive moves. So, rook e, no good. Rook d takes bishop. Best move. Pawn takes rook, queen checks. Now, oh, wait a second. That's not good. Idiot. I thought I had a rook back here. Moron. I was imagining things. Well, good thing I didn't play that stupid move. Oh, well, we have the same concept, just backwards. My sequence is wrong, but I can play rook takes rook check. Oh no, I was correct. Rook takes bishop, best move. Pawn takes deflection. Wait a second, is that right? Check, he plays queen takes, you idiot. That doesn't work. Oh, it's rook takes bishop, pawn takes rook, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, rook takes rook check. Wins a bishop. So run it again one more time. Rook takes bishop. I got a bishop. He takes my rook. This is like a desperado. Queen takes a queen. So I get a bishop. He gets a rook. I take a queen. He takes a queen. I take a rook with the check. I win a bishop for nothing. Thank you. Rook takes bishop. Best move. Queen takes queen on c3. Best move. Rook takes free rook check. Best move. I'm a bishop up. You lose, dummy. Now, look, he's attacking my bishop and my rook. He's got a double attack on me. Well, I'll move one piece and defend the other. Bring, you lose. But that is a desperado. One of many possibilities. Doing. Uh-oh. He's in trouble, Jack. What are we doing? I don't know. My first gut reaction is rook takes f7. He does have 3 attackers there. That's not good. The thing is, though, his order of defense is not great. Let's look at this. Rook takes. If he plays queen takes, rook takes queen, clearly that's not good. So, rook takes, rook takes. I'm not getting much. I got a rook check. Again, Mo, Larry, and Curly. This is the key. It's the queen on h7. So rook takes, rook a8, check. Uh-oh. He can't defend with rook b8, c8, or f8 because I own those. So my gut reaction was correct. Mo, Larry, and Curly, 3 Stooges tipped me off that I had a f7 combo. This is an advanced combo, though, so don't feel bad if you didn't get this. Or you didn't see it, because it looks like you're losing until you actually play the moves. I mean, it's not super great, but it is good. Now we can play stuff like queen c8 check. We can't really, well, actually, no, we can. Check. He's caught again because if he goes to h7, queen c2 forks and wins this rook, queen c8 check, rook goes back, queen to c4 check. So yes, he got hammered because the formation got him. But his order of defense was inconvenient on f7. That was a weak f7 combo. So let's just put weak f7. Like I said, that's an advanced player's combo. And don't feel bad if you don't get it, because it's not obvious. But it's an important combo that, basically almost nobody ever got it the first time they saw it. They had to have it demonstrated to them, and I'm one of those people. way back. So I've had this demonstrated, and you learn from it. And it's like, okay, I see. This is really powerful stuff. Gut reaction, queen h5 check, king g8 only move. But I don't really see that we're doing a lot right now. Well, this is really bogus. We do have the idea of rook d7 attacking his queen, knight takes, rook takes d7, and then we've pinned, his queen has to abdicate, and then queen takes f6. We're going to win 2 pieces for this rook and probably win this knight. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't, just overflow with confidence, to be honest. For sure, we have a minimum of a perpetual check draw, but I think we're winning, and this is the tough part. We have a crushing advantage if we can cash it. Now, we do have the option of taking this knight because Black's king and his entire position is basically in Zugzwang, which means bad forcing to move. Although he does, king takes here. King takes knight. He could play knight g6. And if I play rook d7, queen to f8, defending the bishop, so I cannot play queen takes bishop because the pin doesn't matter. He just plays queen takes queen. So that's the problem. We can't take this on g7, bishop takes, rook takes. Oh, geez, we can. No, we can't. Right? King h8. We can't play this. We don't have this h7 check. Karudsky. So if we check him here, king g8 is forced. How about rook takes g7, bishop takes g7, queen f7? Yes, this is going to be, our order of attack is wrong, but our queen check changes the order of attack to a more favorable rook sacrifice. So queen h5 checks, sidesteps out of the way. King g8, rook takes g7 check. He only can play bishop takes, the only move. And now we go back. Queen, we force. It's like, this is what is known as a what-if technique. What if I could play rook takes, jumping the queen, rook takes check? He'd play bishop takes and we'd checkmate him. Well, we're going to do that. This is what I call the what-if technique. So, sidestep out of the way, allowing this rook to sacrifice. Because we own the white square out of f7. So, queen checks. Rook takes bishop check. It's mate. He has to take it. So now the what if technique comes through. What if question mark. This is the what if technique. As you can see, it's quite powerful, and I invented it. Again, you see this f7 pawn is missing, so I automatically look for the check. Queen f. Man, and I say this a million times. Knight on the 5th rank, missing f pawn, queen to h5 check is almost always devastating. Look at this. If he goes to e7, he can't block it because I just take it and check him. He goes to e7, queen to f7 check, king to here is forced, queen takes free bishop, threatening to knight fork him. We are 2 pieces down. We'll take one for sure and take a rook. We have just a vicious mating attack. And that is the correct move. Now, we could also play knight g6 check and then knight takes rook. Doesn't seem as powerful. Check here. I think check, king d8, queen takes bishop with the threat of both rook taking and knight forking. He does not have a queen check. Be careful. Don't be greedy. My father said, don't be fancy and don't be greedy. There's nothing wrong with looking at this. You know, when I would play in those tournaments we played and I started in 1981, and I told my dad it was awesome because he was at the chess club and he would play. I don't want to play tournaments. I finally got him to show up. Man, it was like taking the kid in the candy store. So, you know, I was like, I went to like 2 or 3, and he either joined me on the 3rd or the 4th one. They had it every month. That guy was a terrific tournament director, strong player, another master player. His name was Ron Dykey. Super guy, absolutely super nice, tremendous tournament director. He didn't take any baloney off of anybody, but he was the nicest guy. So those are tremendous. And I would see guys, you know, in those tournaments, this was happening at the hotel at the University of Houston. And big tournaments, 60 players, sometimes more. There were 2 sections, open section, which a couple of times international masters showed up. And then the under 1800 section. So as a chump, I was under 1800. And I would see the guys in the open section, the 2,000 players and the masters. It's like, so doing stuff like this going, man, what are you looking at? Queen takes bishop. Queen takes bishop, idiot. What are you doing? Well, you know, when you're 1400 or 13 or 1200, queen takes bishop is obvious. But when you're a master, you're like, you know what? Let's make sure I'm not getting reamed here. So there's no problem. He can play queen takes d4, rook d1. His game is over. Queen takes bishop just looks like a devastator. Queen takes b7, not this f8 bishop. That's terrible. Oh, I'm still going to fork you, dummy. Check, bishop takes, c3. You're done. So, weak square complex. That is the end of section 4. Awesome. So, that was 22 and a half minutes. I will see you in a couple.